these are the dark holes I fell into this week. So we got the Breaking Bad house lady. If you don't know, there's a lady who bought the Breaking Bad house, and there's all this stuff around her. Apparently people say she's bad, some people say she's nice. I did an investigation and I found the truth, what I believe to be the truth. Then we have NPCs in real life. There's this dude who goes around, he basically pretends to be doing quests, very Grand Theft Auto style stuff in real life, and people freak out. It's crazy how little it takes to get people to really freak out. Then we got an I'm Thirsty. We haven't done an I'm Thirsty in a little bit. It's Tracy, Racy. I've discovered a new genre of chick I think is hot, and I've realized it like taps into a deep part of my childhood, if that makes sense. Pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it'll all make sense when I get there. And we got it right in from a dude who tells us a story about going to a furry orgy. All today on Dark Holes. All right. Guys, of course, we're still slurping on the green apple cherry Celsius. Delicious. So good. Love it. The Breaking Bad lady. So I don't know if you guys are totally up to date on what this story is about, but for a long time, there's been all these articles and all these things written about the lady who owns the Breaking Bad house. Now, people think that she's crazy. That, like, people come to see the house and they're like, oh my God, it's the house where Breaking Bad was filmed. And she's like, get the fuck away from my house. She has, like, a big gate built up in the front so no one can get, like, onto the property or get close. She tells everyone to fuck off. People who slow down and they're driving by, doing a turn around the cul-de-sac, she comes out and goes, get away from my house. Like, the most angry Karen lady you can possibly imagine, who's just furious that her house is famous. Like, her house is probably the most famous thing in Albuquerque, New Mexico. What the hell else is going on in Albuquerque, New Mexico? Nothing, dude. You go down there, you check out some Breaking Bad shit, and then you go out into the desert and eat some peyote, I guess. But this Breaking Bad lady gets mad at everyone who comes to her house. Can we play this first, Instagram? This is from, I gotta get this guy's name right. Hold on. It's Ed Bassmaster, who's super fucking funny. Can we play this? This gives you an idea of what this lady's like. He also goes out and tries to instigate people, so it's not completely her fault. This character that he plays just goes like, psh, and like pisses people off. It's fucking awesome.
You don't get near my house. Get away.
I just wanted to get a picture. I'm a big fan of the show.
Good whoopee shit.
Oh, whoopee my ass. Man, you ought to learn to chill a little bit,
I
hon.
don't have to, you motherfucker.
Hey, relax.
Get out of here.
Hey, son of a bitch. Yeah, she's threatening to call the cops on me.
I've already got him on the phone, motherfucker. Get out.
Can you just please let me get a couple pictures?
Get away from my house.
You're pissing me off.
Whoopee shit.
I am done with you.
Oh, what a fucking retard. Little bitch boy.
I don't appreciate being called a bitch boy. Yeah, you better go in.
Don't tell me what the fucking do. Get out.
Get in the house.
Don't you tell me what to do.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Better yet, Forrest, run. Don't you fucking threaten me.
Get in the house.
You don't get near my house.
That's it. He's so good at knowing how, for one, she's the easiest button to push of all time. Anything you say to her, you're like, oh, I'm just coming to see the house. Get the fuck away from my house. It's a beautiful home. I'm a fan. Fuck you. You go, get back in your house. Don't tell anything you say at her, she'll throw back at you with chaos. And so I start looking into this, and everything I've heard about her is like, yeah, she's such a nasty lady. Of course, like, how stupid is she for buying a famous house and being upset that people come to see it? I started investigating a little deeper. Turns out she owned the house, and her family has owned the house for like 50 years, and it goes back way before Breaking Bad. So the inside of the house in Breaking Bad isn't even her house. That's a set. Just the outside shots for a few episodes where they have the outside shots, and I think the backyard stuff and her patio furniture and stuff is in the show. And so that's what people see, obviously, from no one's coming inside her house. And she's not letting fucking she's a big gate out front. She's not letting anyone inside her fucking house. So then you start to go, okay, so she didn't ask for this fame. She probably got paid like a decent amount of money, probably not that much money, for them to use her house to shoot this show. And then I start digging in a little deeper, and it's like, oh, also on top of that, people have like started harassing the fuck out of her. Like people, I don't know if you guys have seen Breaking Bad, but there's an episode where Walter White throws a pizza on the roof. The people have come to her house and just chucked pizzas onto her roof, which is pretty fucking funny. Huge pain in the ass. I can't imagine a bigger, because you got to get that pizza off there. That shit's gonna start to rot, and then like birds and bugs and all sorts of shit are gonna start to fester on your ceiling, eat away at that, or on your roof, and it's gonna be a huge problem. And then what if you guys start to get a bunch of pizza assailants, different people, they get like 4 or 5 pizzas a week are getting chucked up there. I don't know how many pizzas made it to a roof, but one is enough to get you a little testy. Apparently, people also made like fake Airbnb things where they were selling like, hey, you could come like you park your RV in the driveway at this house and you get paid. And so people were making money off of her property, and people would show up and be like, oh yeah, I reserved this Airbnb, and she's like, no, you fucking didn't, and they're like, yeah, I did, and then that was a whole kerfuffle. So she has all these people assaulting her property, coming to her family home, and really ruining her life. And apparently she was a super nice lady, and I was like, oh my god, there's a whole other element to this where if I was an older person, people kept fucking with my property. I kind of was like, whatever, I made a few bucks off a TV show, and now then I can't stop getting harassed. Like, there is a definitely a better angle of this where she makes a ton of money off of this, and she has people come, and she sells tickets to like come and look at the backyard. There is a way where she could do this in a much nicer way where that profits her way more, but she's chosen the angry, crazy Karen angle, which I'm sure is it gives her a purpose, probably. It gives her a reason to exist, to get mad at people that come to her house. Get off my lawn, to the highest extent. But now at least I have sympathy for this woman. Then I dig in a little bit deeper. And then I find a bunch of videos of her telling people to fuck off, and they're coming around. And you go like, well, some people are just driving by, and you're deliberately coming out to like scream at them, and you could leave them alone. It seems like you're a little unhinged. And then there was one specific family that drives up. They're taking a picture, as people do. It's the Breaking Bad house. She goes, get out of here, you Mexican trash. And you go, there it is. There it is. There it is. Oh, no, you are a shitty person. So also, once you find out someone is shitty and doing stuff like that, and they're that chaotic and they're that quick to confrontation, she's looking like, if someone drives up to your house, they take a picture, maybe you look at them through the blinds and you go like, okay, like they're just taking a picture, they're leaving. You're concerned about a pizza going up on your roof or something like that. And you're like, okay, they're just taking off, who cares? You leave it alone, and then they go away, and then it doesn't become a story. Now people want to come and poke you because they go, not only do I get to see the Breaking Bad house, I get to poke the bear. But she lives for that confrontation. And then when you also find out she's yelling horrible shit at the people, because she yells at this family, hey, get out of here, you Mexican trash. And they go, we're not even Mexican. We're not, if anything, if you're going to be racist, you gotta be accurate in your racism. Be good with the racism, guys. Bad racism, no gracias. Not interested. We want good racism. That's what we're looking for. Now, we want no racism. That's what we're looking for. But when I learned that that's an aspect of your personality, I go, oh, well, you're probably lying about the other shit too. The thing about people throwing the pizza on your roof, the Airbnb, like maybe a pizza end up on your roof. The Airbnb thing maybe happened one time, which is like, that's just any inconvenience that can happen. Yeah, maybe it's more centered around you having a famous house, but I don't know, you could be living at a place and the power goes out, or they accidentally cut your cables to something and your internet's down, or like there's a whole, inconveniences will happen in your life. Doesn't mean you have to be a rude bitch to everybody. So on that whole arc, I went with this lady. I was like, oh my God, she's an evil bitch. I went, oh my God, she's a misunderstood queen. And then I went, actually, she's an evil bitch again. That's where we're ending on this. And I hope you guys are like up to date on what's going on with this Breaking Bad lady. If I end up in Albuquerque, you better fucking believe I'm going to go fucking see her house. Because the thing is, The police are probably so tired of getting phone calls from this lady because she has to be harassing them night and day. And they go, hey, what is it, Brenda? There's another person out here. They're taking a picture. Brenda, we've told you hundreds of times. It's not illegal. It's not illegal to harass a woman and ruin her life. And she just exaggerates it to like the nth degree. Like I can hear how she talks and like they go like, and they're like, hey, we'll send a car. And the car gets there 4 hours late because they're just like, what is it? Well, they're gone now. If you guys actually knew how to do your fucking job, maybe you would come here and you would get rid of these people that harass me. It's like, do you want us to do? No, get out of here. And they're like, okay, bye, Brenda. And that's their relationship with her over and over and over again. And I'm sure there's one cop who's maybe like bridged a little bit of something. He's like, I know how to quell the beast. I can play the flute to calm the monster. And he can calm her down a little bit and get her a little conversational and be like, you know, Brenda, it's like, maybe they're the ones who probably said, hey, you should put up a gate. Put up a gate, Brenda. That's going to keep more people out. They can't come onto the property. But you can go stand out in front of her house, snap some pictures. Maybe we got a whole crew together. We organize a thing. Harass Brenda Day. I don't know her actual name. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because then you're just as bad as she is, dude. But you better believe I want her to call me a slur. If I go down there to the Breaking Bad house and I go to take a picture, she better call me a slur. That's part of the experience. I want her to yell, get out of here, you Negro. I go, whoa, all right. Pick, thank you. And I catch it on video. She called me a Negro. Whoa, Breaking Bad house lives up to his reputation. That's good shit. All right, guys. All right. Let's keep on working through. I haven't decided yet whether or not I should do like on a couple of the Patreon apps. I've done like a what's going on with me, but we do what's going on with me in the main app. And I'm like, do I have more things that's going on with me that I'm like split it between two, maybe do like a little chunk here, a little chunk there. There's nothing. The fall is coming in New York and it's nice. That's about all that I think I didn't cover in the main episode. I don't think I have anything too interesting that's new. I'm going to be going home soon, going to visit the fam, going to chill. I'm going to be jumping on a bunch of other pods soon because the best way to build a podcast is to do spots on other podcasts. So I'm going to be doing all that shit. I don't really think there's fucking anything too crazy. No. We covered everything on the main app. So let's just get right into this. This guy, I forgot to write his name down. I'm going to quickly grab his name here. firstpersonlife.nman. This dude has a fucking page I've been obsessed with for weeks, dog. So basically what he does is he goes into places and pretends as if he's playing like a role-playing game, and he holds his phone at his chest, and then he has his hand out in front of him. Very like, you know, if you're playing a first-person shooter, you can always see a hand. It's not like Doom, there's always a hand there, or there's a gun. There's something always to be like, hey, you're existing in this space. This isn't just a disembodied camera that's floating around. And he walks around like that, which already just that position is going to get people unsettled. But it's crazy how worked up people get. This is in the same realm as the Breaking Bad lady. When you don't follow the rules, people start to freak out. Like if you go into an office building and they're like, hey, you can't be in here. And you go, he walks around and goes like, hey, I'm actually looking for quests. And they go, no, you can't. Instead of just being like, hey, dude, like you got your camera out. What are you doing? Like content? Like, can you just go, man? Like they go, he's filming the offices. There's people. There's filming people's offices. Call the police. It's like, dude, it's a guy with a camera who's like, maybe autistic, and you're freaking out. Calm down, take a breath, like let him roam. What's it gonna do, dude? He doesn't have a vest on. No vest, no problem. That's what I always say. Which one was the one that I really wanted to check out? It wasn't the first one I put in there. Oh yeah, the second one. We're gonna watch a chunk of the second one. Producer, bring up the second one. Just because I like what this guy says, who's trying to justify why he gets to tell him what to do. It's so fucking good. It's so good. This is it.
Officer Chapman Automotive Group. Who are you?
I'm exploring the map.
No, you're not. Who are you? You tell me who you are right now, or I'm calling
That's actually what I'm doing. I'm just exploring the map.
Call the police.
I'm trying to get out of here.
You're not going anywhere until you tell me.
You're not allowed to block me in.
I am too, because you're trespassing.
That's why I'm leaving. I'm trying to leave.
So why are you taking videos?
For my safety as well as all of your safety.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now. My name is Keith Hoffman. I'm a corporate director for Chapman Automotive.
Whoa.
Who are you?
That's
I
good.
am a Let's Player.
So it just keeps going like that. But he goes, I'm the corporate director for Chief whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's like, as if that means anything to fucking anybody, dude. He's saying that title like he's like, I'm the chief of police in this city, and I'm going to arrest you right now. I'm the chief operator for Chapman Automotive Group. Who the fuck cares, dude? Who the fuck cares about that? Like, you have no authority. You fucking sign shit and you order parts for cars. I'm the chief operator. That guy thinks he's so important. But these people freak out. He goes, I'm trying to leave. And they go, no. Like, what are you doing? He's taking footage of us in our warehouse where we fuck around and we, like, no one, like, yeah. Is he harassing people in a way? Yes. Do I love the entertainment? Yes. But like just fucking once he goes, especially once he's like, oh no, you have to let me go. Because they actually do. If someone you is quote unquote trespassing and you go, you got to get the fuck out of here. And then they fuck around a little longer and then you go, no, you actually have to stay. The police are coming. You go, you can't, you'd be like, you told me to leave. I have to leave. Even if I leave later after you ask me, you can't keep him there because I think that is then kidnapping. Even I think security, like if you're in like a Walmart or whatever, and a security guard stops you, I don't think they have, or they go, hey, let me look in your bag. A security guard doesn't have the right to look in your bag. And I don't think they have the right to arrest you, or like, you know, people say like, citizen's arrest. No, there's no fucking such thing, dude. It's cops or nothing, dude. It's only the cops that can fucking restrain you and tell you can't go out and do shit. Okay, I think this third one here, this is the good one. The third one is the fucking juicy one. This is his magnum opus so far. Who knows what this guy will create in the future? But producer, please play this.
A minute, you're in the complete wrong building, so if you could delete all of that right there in our building that you just videotaped.
Oh, okay.
No, right in front of me, please.
That's a violation of my rights. I'm trying to make a good Let's Play.
His hand is so good.
It's right here. I found it.
Yeah, so what purpose do you need our, no, that's not Edward Jones either.
If you look at the map, you can see he has like hostels that move around on the map. It's so good, dude.
We've got aggro and it's oh no. Oh no.
Excuse me. Oh,
Why are you chasing me? Whoa. Whoa.
No, you need to stay right here. No, excuse me, sir. You're not leaving.
You're not letting me leave.
Sorry. Excuse me. Can you please?
Why
Excuse
can't
me.
I leave?
Because you're videotaping people's offices. Excuse
Stop
me.
touching me. I'm not
Sorry,
trying
but
to-
you're videotaping people's offices. So, you need to stay.
I'm trying to leave. This lady's crazy.
Okay, excuse me.
I did nothing wrong.
You're going into people's offices.
It was a misunderstanding. So.
No, you're videotaping offices.
There's another exit. Let's go, guys.
And he's free. There we go. Oh my God. I love it so much. People get so panicked. They freak out when it's something that's like out of the order of their regular thing. They just lose it. You know how easy it would be to go into that office building and then just start like fucking taking video shit? You put a vest on. It's like those kids at the Super Bowl who got into the Super Bowl because they brought a ladder. They were like, hey, they bring, like, you can get into anywhere with a ladder. They like go to like the back entrance or whatever. They're like, yeah, we're here to do whatever check. And they're just carrying a ladder and they just walk all the way into the fucking Super Bowl. There's people who get into like UFC events by figuring out like, okay, I watched the press event and I saw what the press tags look like. I printed those, I cut them, I laminated them, and then I put them on, I get in. Like it's so fucking easy. I've gone to different things. I've been a part of things where you have a lanyard. The lanyard's never like some fucking super secret, like, oh, it's holographic and it's like a passport where it has like some stamp and you got to look at it with a infrared light. It's like, no, it's some fucking piece of plastic that some dude who is just like hired on by some security company looks at really quick. And then you go in. There's another dude who gets free parking at all these different places because when he goes up to the parking guy, he goes like, "Hey, I'm here with Jeff's Automotive. I gotta check your compressor unit." And he's like, "Jeff told you I'm coming, right?" And he's like, "Whoa." The guy who's working the parking is like, "Jeff told you I'm coming, right? He told you I'm coming." And he's like, and he goes like, "Can I just grab a parking spot quick and then I can get to work?" And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." If you see someone doing something that flamboyant, they're the least dangerous. If you want to be dangerous, you get into sneaky mode. You put on a vest, you grab a ladder, you don't even know where. And also, it's like, what do you think? You think this office you work in is a hot spot? What do you guys do there? You push papers, you crunch numbers, you squish pallets, whatever the fuck you're doing in there. Can't be that deep. But in the same realm of like treating people like NPCs, there's another dude who does it in like Russia. And I really like this guy's content because it's much more friendly. And he always tries to engage someone in like, oh, you're going to be part of the quest. And he's not really irritating them. And they usually partake in a very fun way. And this was probably the best one I saw. Click on that one that says second guy, producer, please. So for an audio listener, he's going up to a couple, and the guy has like a half full or maybe a quarter full thing of Coca-Cola in a plastic bottle, and he does a bottle flip, and then the guy immediately jumps in, and they're having a bottle flip competition to see who can land the bottle flip. He's like, didn't get it, but he goes to hit it. Oh, NPC won. And then he puts a lost screen up, which is so fucking funny, dude. Oh, that I really like. I like he's like, I'm engaging with the world in a fun way. And it goes to show you how, like, some of these people, how uncomfortable they get and how quickly they are to react to just somebody who's kind of working out of their space. That whole, like, I'm getting out of the matrix. You can do whatever you want. You have free thought. You can, like, I don't know, when you're driving in traffic, you can just get out of your car if it's gridlock and fucking put your bare ass on someone's window and then get back in your car. And people will freak out, but you're like, hey, whatever, dude. You can do it. It's within your power. You can get butt naked, strip down the street, run around. I don't know why I'm going straight to nudity on all these things, but you have the freedom to explore your world in different ways that you're not seeing clearly. But I like how quickly these people participate in his games. And I will say that if he did that to me, if someone came up to me and then they were like, this guy's an NPC, and then I saw the video later, I'd be furious. I'm an NPC. Fuck you, dude. I'm main character shit all day. Now fucking one of you is probably fucking already conniving, I'm going to make an NPC video with Che. You're going to come up to me at a show or something at the meet and greet and do something really weird, and then I won't know how to act right because I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm just trying to move this line along, and then you're going to make a video of it, and I'll look like a fucking idiot, dude. God damn it. I set myself up. With those glasses on. Those glasses that have the cameras in them that people wear when they sleep with prostitutes so they can have the footage. Creepos, dude. Creepos. All right. But that was the NPC stuff. I really, really fucking like this guy. Let's go on to I'm Thirsty. We got an I'm Thirsty. Editor, play the noise. We haven't done an I'm Thirsty in a while. This chick came up in my feed. I just followed her today. I kept resisting. I don't think I've ever looked at an OnlyFans more times. Like, I didn't buy, but I just kept looking at the page being like, do I buy? Do I buy this? Do I buy this? I can't. Do I want to buy it? Do I want to buy it? Do I want to buy it? I kept doing that over and over, and I would just stare at it and just like, no. And then I would turn away. But and so it got into my head. I was like, what is it about this? There's thousands, maybe millions of hot chicks selling OnlyFans on the internet. Why is this one getting into my head like just sucking on my brain, really tempting me? Why is this siren song making me steer into the rocks over and over and over and again? What is it about this chick? To give you guys a breakdown of her, for one, very fit. But these are like the basic things that any super, like, she's hot, obviously, but that the hot chicks are bringing to the table. She's very fit. She's got a tight core. She's wearing a lot of like little belly revealing stuffs. Great butt. White chick, big butt, dude. Tiny boobs. And I think I have discovered in myself, I think I actually prefer the smaller boobs, big butt, than big boobs, big butt. Because obviously small butt, big boobs that's not what you want. But I think I even like the small boobs and big butt over big boobs, big butt. I think I do, which is crazy. But I think there's something about the tiny top into the little waist. I like a good one-hander tit that you can just kind of jiggle with one guy, like a little, like a B plus or whatever that rating is, a double B or something, like a C, a smaller C. I think I like those guys a lot. Nothing against you. You got big fat fucking tits. I love your big fat fucking tits. Don't get me. If you're part of the small percentage of women who listen to this, and if you also have big fat fucking tits, I love your big fat fucking tits. But okay, so she's got a tight core, big butt. She has bangs. She's a brunette. And I was like, what is it about this chick? There's something, she wears jeans a lot. You don't see this a lot in hot chick content, but she always has jeans on and showing how good her ass looks in jeans, which is like, ooh, that's a different approach. And I was like, that's definitely doing it for me in some way. And I was like, why? Editor, can you play the video for us so everyone can get a look at what she actually looks like? This is her.
Your girlfriend wants to be my girlfriend. She be calling me, telling me about you, how you ain't.
My God. Now, look into the video beyond just her. You have the plants in the background, the guitar on the wall, this like tapestry. The colors, that very like beige, like the fairy lights kind of going. And I was like, it's more than just her being hot. And the jean aesthetic with her. There's like something all about this. The bangs. What are all these pieces coming together that are turning me on? Producer, do you have an idea of why I find this chick so attractive?
Is it giving sort of like early teacher vibes?
That's a good guess. That's not what I was going for. If you go to her page, you'll see some stuff. Find her in a jacket. Real quick. And I'll give you another guess. Yeah, you see her in a jacket right there. She has that you have something that's like, I guess, the wool on the inside. And then she's got the denim jeans on, the plants in there. One more guess. What do you think is selling it? And like I said, I give you a hint earlier, goes back to the childhood.
You said the wool plays a factor into it?
The wool plays a factor. Dude.
Huh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is this going to be some sort of Canadian thing that I'm just not hip to? Because I'm from Southern California, where it's like warm all the time.
Yeah, okay.
So.
It's definitely a regional aspect. You're getting warmer.
Colder, but you know.
Yeah, colder. Yeah. Ha ha. It is, okay. It is a regional thing. I think it's because so much of her vibe is like a very Pacific Northwest vibe where I grew up. I grew up close to Vancouver, so that rainy, cozy, Ugg boots kind of vibe is what she's giving off. So I think it's getting like deep into my nostalgia boner. I'm getting a nostalgia boner for this chick. She reminds me of the girls I grew up around, of the area I grew up in. I get a homey feeling, like the idea, like I can see this chick with the plants, the colors of the walls, everything. I can see this chick like sitting on the couch reading a book. It's raining outside. Maybe there's a small dog, cup of tea, like with the steam kind of coming out of it. It's like if you got to go out to get something, you got to put your gum boots on. You got to fucking put your raincoat on. This chick owns a fucking raincoat, dude. It titillates me in like a very like early me way, dude. I didn't realize that I had a boner for cozy chicks, but I do. So this chick is giving me like this cozy boner that I love. Not like, of course, she's super hot. Her body's crazy. Her ass is unreal. Their asses, that's a top 15 ass. Gotta be top 15. I would say like, let's just put it in the top 15 right now. We don't have to talk about who the top 15 asses are, but let's just put her, I'm throwing her in there. Also, yeah, her content is good. She also has anime playing in the background all the time, which that's a fucking trick. That's a dirty trick, dude. That's a dirty fucking trick. Like, I bet she does watch anime. And so you see the coats are never too heavy. These are all like Pacific Northwest climate coats. Like, the difference is like if you grew up in like a Toronto or like an area that gets super, super cold, you're wearing a parka when you go out. You're wearing a sweat. You're wearing that underneath a big, heavy coat. This is what she's going out in. The jeans are enough to keep your legs warm. Maybe you have tights on underneath there. It's so fucking it's tapping into like a juvenile version of me. So the first hot chicks I ever saw all dressed like this. But the anime in the background, lots of hot chicks do this. Maybe this chick does watch anime. I don't know. But it is a dirty trick for me to be like, she's nerdy. It gets to my weaknesses. Like, we can talk about Inuyasha together. And then that's like fucking, it's like the gamer girl stuff. I'm not saying girls don't play video games. I'm not saying girls don't watch anime. They definitely do. But when a OnlyFans chick has it like kind of playing in the background, that gets into your that fucking subdues you almost more than anything. When I find out a girl watches anime, I go, are we gonna watch anime together and then we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna break down the episodes and we're gonna say what we liked and didn't like? Is this the love of my life? Am I gonna fall in love with this girl right now? That's why it's a dirty, dirty trick, dude. But yeah, I've broken and I didn't follow her for a long time because I was like, I can't. I try not to follow too many like hot chicks on the OF or not on the OF on Instagram because it becomes too much of my feed. And then that's so much of your feed is just like hot chick, hot chick, hot chick. It's not good for the brain. And usually what ends up happening is I follow a bunch of them and then I do like a cleanse and I wash them all out. So I try to resist so I don't have to get to the cleanse stage. But I broke and then I followed her and I keep looking at that OnlyFans just like I might break and buy it. I might. I don't know. All right, guys. Let's fucking ooh. Okay, I gotta go in. Look at this. Okay, that's great. We got a write-in. This write-in, I gotta go into my messages because it was like too much of a pain in the ass to screenshot all this shit. This guy wrote in. He'll stay anonymous. He's wrote in before. I don't think I read his previous write-in, but he writes in with some pretty fucking wild shit, and then I followed up with him, and he gives a lot of detail. I'm assuming that this shit is true. As you guys know, I'm a horrible reader, so this is a long story. I'm going to shorten it up for you. I'm going to sweeten it up. As Bert Kreischer would say, I'm going to skinny it up. Make it get to the best parts for you. This was the original thing he wrote in with. I was invited to a furry convention that turned into an orgy. Right there. Bang! You're like, you got me. Let's go. What is this? So he says he was going to college. He was doing IT. Bad decision was what he said. In software development, he says that was a bad decision. He was hanging outside, smoking some cigarettes with his friends when this group of people who he described as neck beards and mouth breathers from his class, they walk out. And then he was chilling, but he's like, he offers them, he's like, hey, you want to come have a cigarette with me? They start talking about these hot bitches in the class, hot chicks that they know. And then as they get deeper into the conversation, these neck-bearded mouth breathers, his words, not mine. I've never met these people before. I have no disdain for them. I don't know who they are. I'm not going to categorize furries in any type of way. There was that furry who was in the military that Shane Gillis talks about. Being a furry, you could still rise to one of the highest levels of achievement in this country. I'm coming from another country. I'm not a furry, but I came from another country. I'm trying to do the same thing. There's furries that are outclassing me every day, okay? So no shit, no shame on the furries. And also, like, people love to shit on the furries, but it's like, I don't know. There's some billionaire who's like poisoning a water supply right now. Like, get your anger right. If you're going to get angry in the right direction. A guy who wants to dress up as like a wolf and then fuck his friend who's also dressed up as a wolf, like, fucking whatever. Let him go, dude. It's their budget on those costumes, which has to be fucking crazy. Has to be crazy, the budget on those. Maybe that's a market to get into. Maybe I start a business that sells those, and they're like high-end ones. Huh. I'm sure, because I feel like that's a thing. Once you get to like horny adjacent stuff, like that's like BDSM shit. Like if you sell BDSM shit, the benefit of selling that shit is there's only so many people who sell it. So if you have like a better quality one, they'll come to you for it. And people will do anything to satisfy their horny. When people get horny, the logic side of the brain turns off and the spending side turns on. And then they buy weird shit to satisfy their need to jizz. So that could be a good business plan, is like some furry adjacent products. Also, do I have a lot of furry followers? Because we did baddragon.com on the previous Patreon app, which was all about like the dragon dildos. And now we have this guy who went to a furry convention and turned into an orgy. Are a lot of you guys furries? Write in or send me a message or whatever. If you're furry, let me know. I didn't know that there was a big portion of my following, but hey, more power to you, dude. Okay, so they start talking, and to like get to know him, they go, "Are you into My Little Pony?" And he says, "I respond with, it's all right." And he said it kind of felt like they were testing him with that question. They go, like, "Are you into My Little Pony?" And then he goes like, yeah, it's fine. Like he's giving him a like, I know what you guys are about, so I'm gonna give you what you want to hear. And they go, all right, this guy's cool. He likes My Little Pony. This is a cool guy. Which I feel like that is something we forgot about. We never investigated deep enough. Was those, what were they called again? The dudes who like My Little Pony? Bronies.
Yeah.
Bronies. The bronies came and went, and we just let that happen. We just let grown men love My Little Pony, and we never went and found them and then like maybe investigated that a little deeper. I don't know what we should do to them, but we should have sectioned them off from the rest of society. A camp situation, maybe. No, we're not going there. But they say, okay, you should come to something that's called ClopCon, which I guess is like Clip Clop. And they give him an address. It's at the Marriott. He goes down there. And then he talks to the lady at the front desk. He's like, hey, I'm here for this ClopCon. She goes, oh, there's a weird party going on in one of the ballrooms. So he goes in there. As soon as he walks in, it's like all these people in furry suits wearing My Little Pony shit, fully furried out, go into the town on furry stuff, and they're having a great time. They're partying. He sees the guys there. They're like, oh, you made it. That's great. He starts talking to some people there. Then he sees a cute chick. You end up in any situation, the weirdest, most awkward, most uncomfortable place. You see a hottie who's kind of giving you the vibe. You go, hey, you know what? Maybe we stick it out. Maybe we stick it out for a little longer. There's been plenty there's an old comedy rule. This is an old Canadian comedy rule I'll give you guys, which is never go back to the party. If you're on the road somewhere, because there's been plenty of bad things that have happened to dudes, especially if you're doing like smaller town areas, there's a good chance that your show ends at like 10 and a bunch of people went to the show together and they go like, hey, we're having an after party at my house. You're literally the coolest guy we know. Come to the party. So you go, hell yeah, I'll go to the party. But what can happen is you end up at a place where you probably didn't drive there. Maybe you got a ride from someone. Maybe you did drive or you Ubered there. You don't know where you are. Everyone else knows each other, and you're the odd guy out. And all it takes is one dude to be like, hey, what, you think you're funny? Who the fuck is this guy? You hit on some guy's girlfriend. One guy in specific, I won't blow up his spot, but he went back to a girl's place to bang her. And it's like, that's the thing is you never go back to the place. You go like, hey, come into my hotel room. If you want to bang, or if you want to do stuff, that's how we do it. But he goes back, bangs her. Her husband comes home. This dude almost shoots him with a shotgun. Then he kicks him out. He then has to walk all the way back he's trying to walk back to where he came from, doesn't know where he was coming from. His phone's dead, finds a gas station, knocks on the window. He's like, hey, I don't have like any money or anything. Can you guys like lend me a phone charger so I can charge my phone so I can call for help or like call to get an Uber or whatever? The gas station guy says no. And then he has to walk to another gas station to find help. Wild. So that's like an old comedy rule is you never go. I just got a weird text message. What is that text message? Hold on. What is that? No, that's not what it was. What is this? No. Okay, I don't know what that was. That was very strange. It came from a number I didn't recognize, and it said something about 200 people. And then when I went to check in my text messages, it wasn't there. Spooky. That's spooky, dude. Am I cursed? Whoa. Okay. So, basically what I'm getting at is the reason you always end up in a situation, like I've gone back to the party many times and it's never turned me wrong. One time I went back to this girl's place and we went and we partied and we drank and it was fun. There was a bunch of people there. We were doing some fucking nose nachos and shit. And she didn't want, I kept like, we're like making out and stuff. And she's like, well, I can't go up to my room. Like it's my house. It's my party. Like we have to wait till everyone leaves. So I was kind of like up like making out with this girl, doing stuff with her until like I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Then we finally go up to her room. We're finally fucking. And at this point, we've been like making out on and off. My dick's like primed, but I've also been doing the nose nachos. And then I think I took a Viagra to counter the nose nachos, which is like, your heart is getting fucked up from that shit. If you think you're getting out scot-free, you go, hey, you know what? Maybe I was hungover. Your heart's like, 10 years gone. I don't know. Maybe not 10. I probably lost 6 months on that, or just on heart. Maybe maybe kidneys, do some heavy lifting, give some more time to heart. I don't know. But we go up, we bang, but because of the coke, I couldn't come. Because of the Viagra, definitely got a boner, and we're fucking for a while, and then I'm like, I just never jizz. Then like, then I'm like, oh, I finally like kind of get tired and pass out. I like 30 minutes later, my boys are calling me, who I'm on the road with, and they're like, where the fuck are you? It's like, at this point, it's maybe like, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, we gotta drive to like a whole other fucking city tonight. Where the fuck are you? Or today we gotta go to a new city. Like we got like 6 hours of driving, and I'm like, I just send them a pin on iPhone text. Don't respond with any dialogue, and then they drive and they call me a bunch because I like kind of go back to sleep. They call me a bunch, and I wake up and I'm like, oh, I gotta go. I grab my clothes. I like kiss this girl a bit. I'm covered in cat hair from her cat. I get in the car. I sit down. I remember this. I think this was the day that Donda 2 came out. Or is it Donda or Donda 2? I can't remember. There was some like Kanye album that dropped. So listening to it, they're both like upset with me. And I go like, well, at least I'll be able to sleep in this like 6-hour car ride. And then blue balls hits me like a fucking freight train. And I'm just like so uncomfortable with my blue balls in the car. Like, ugh, so hungover. I feel so shit. I'm so tired. I can't sleep because my balls hurt. It's like one of the worst fucking car rides of my life. But I went back to the place. And the reason I went back was for the pussy. I went back for the pussy, dude. And that's what I'm saying in this situation is even when you know you're like, oh, this is weird. There's like a furry thing going on. I'm kind of uncomfortable. You see a little bit of pussy, you go, maybe we stick this one out, huh? So he's sticking it out with this lady. They're talking. They're starting to hit it off. And then they hear some sort of commotion on the edge of the dance floor. They go over there. There's just people fucking. There's people just straight up fucking on the side of the dance floor. And they're like, holy shit. But then this lady starts to get a little bit worked up. They start to make out. She goes, hey, do you want to come up to my room? And he says, I'm giddy, so I'm giddy, so stalked to get it up with this chick. I'm giddy, so stoked to get it up with this chick. So he goes up to her room. They're like, okay, now we're gonna hook up. They ride the elevator up. They're making out. They're touching. He says there's a bunch of not safe for work shit going on in the elevator as they're riding it up. Then they get to a room. Doors swing open. He says there's at least 15 people on two queen beds having a massive orgy. Some of them are in fursuits. Some are just naked. And some just have their masks on. What was the one? Oh yeah, and then there's one dude with a horse mask on who just has a vibrator in his ass. He just has something shoved right up in his ass, and it's just like. It'd be funny if there was like a horse tail attached to it and it was hanging off. And so this is just getting. There's like all these people fucking. Horse guy's getting dildoed. He goes in the room with the chick. He said he calls her Rainbow because I think she was dressed up as like a rainbow stuff. He goes, she pulls me into the room, starts to pull off my clothes. This wasn't my first orgy, so I wasn't 100% turned off, but at least 30%. But at least 30% was the fact that Rainbow was nasty, and that was what was keeping me up. Because what does he also say? When she the door swings open, the brown mask. Oh, the stench. This is what he says. The stench was pure fecal matter and sweat. That was the smell in the room. Straight ass and sweat, dude. Poop and sweat. You go in there and you're like, whoa, you're getting hit with a wall. They're acclimatized. They've been working up this stench the entire time they've been there. Fucking horse dude with the dildo in his ass. It's frying up. He's spreading that scent all over the room like a crop duster, just yang, 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 heating up the entire space. A lot of it is emitting just off of this one guy. But then he goes in the room. He's like, not my first orgy, not my first rodeo. We had a long, full night. I still got it in and even some more. But every single time I would look away from whoever I was fornicating with, there was that one brown horse mask man standing to the side, getting things shoved in his rectum. That sight still haunts me to this day. That guy, horse guy, he wasn't there to put his dick in anything. He only wanted things in him. And like I said, attributing to a lot of the scent. So that what I've heard about the furries, a lot of furries make the argument that it's like, hey, it's not just a sex thing, which I'm sure it's not, dude. Not everything's just a sex thing, but when you're going to a con or you're going to an event where you got to find a bunch of like-minded people, regular people aren't going to let you fuck in the fursuit, right? If you meet a regular lady on Hinge and you go on a date and you go like, hey, my name's Brandon, blah, 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 and you talk about all this stuff and you go, by the way, I'm a furry, and she goes, oh, even if she's like, you know what, I'm open-minded, it's like, can I fuck you in the fursuit? She might go, you know what, that's it. That's where I draw. It was nice to meet you. Let's split the bill. We're going to go on our separate ways. You know, when you go to, what was it, GiddyCon or CoppleCon or whatever the fuck this was called, you know you're going to meet people who are down for this once-in-a-lifetime fur orgy experience, so you're probably going to partake. So yeah, it's not always a sex thing, but sex is definitely a nice bonus when you can appreciate the weird shit you do with other people who like to do the same weird shit. So kudos to this guy who will remain anonymous. Of course, if this is how this is going to work from now on the pod, you will always be anonymous unless you tell me otherwise. Unless you can be like, hey, use this username instead or use this name instead. You are anonymous unless you tell me, because all these stories come out so perverted and so strange and so like this needs to be kept behind closed doors that I can only assume that you don't want anyone to know, dude. All right. Well, that was that was the first write-in, which is like, that's a juicy one right there. Good job on that. Good job. Okay, we'll go to our next guy. This one is, I don't know how to feel about this one. I can get how this dude felt, but he says, my wife left me for her cartel ex-boyfriend. He was killed, and it made me laugh. That's fucked up. Like, it's, like, I can picture the whole thing in my mind. Like, you're with a chick, you really love her. You're like, are we going to get married? Are we going to be together forever? Am I going to have kids with this woman? He said she left me, so there was nothing like he said she was cheating on me or anything. Maybe she was, but you didn't know. So you can't assume those things. But she left you for this guy, whatever, and you just go. And it's different. Like, it's different if you just break up with someone, you go your separate ways, and maybe they broke up with you and you still wanted to be with them. That's one thing. When you know someone specifically left you for a person, that hurts. What you go, what has he got that I don't? He has what I want. Like, that just feeling inferior to another person is like, that's a fucking heart-wrenching feeling. And you know that he's getting all the love that you want, and you're just stewing on that. And it kind of sits with you. And like something like that might sit with you for years and years and years. You might never get over it. But then you get some weird karmic justice where he dies. And I could imagine the day you got that news where you're like, maybe you're having a rough one. Maybe you got in an argument with your boss. You got a flat on the way to work and you were like, fuck. And you fucking had to put on the spare, and you get to work late, and then that's why you and your boss got in the argument. And then you go to the vending machine, your favorite types of chips aren't in there. There's something you would eat on your 15-minute break, and you go, just fucking Christ. And you drive home, you get home, you go to turn on the TV, the batteries are dead in the remote. You can't find the fucking batteries anywhere, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, can this day get any worse? And then you fucking get this message from someone. You go like, hey, you remember Cindy? Her boyfriend died. And you go, huh? And you look in the fridge, there's one beer left. You go, you know what? Life ain't too bad. I know the fucking feeling of satisfaction that rolled over you. And a person died, so you shouldn't have had that feeling, but you did. You felt like, you know what? In a way, I kind of won. But then you don't want her back, because you're like, I don't want to be number 2 even to a ghost. So you're just like, you're happy with her having nobody. You're like, you don't get me, you don't get him, you get nothing. And that's that. I'm not saying like maybe you didn't feel like that at all, but that's what I envision the experience you went through, which is kind of sick and twisted, but super relatable. Like if that scene was in a movie, like, oh, her boyfriend died, and then the guy kind of smiles and then like has a really good day after, like goes to the beach, gets ice cream that he likes, and really treats himself because he's like, you know what, this is fucking good. That would be a relatable scene. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Now, we have the good would you rather on here. Would you rather have 5 inches of forehead or 5 inches of foreskin? Like, I'm guessing that's 5 more because a forehead can be around 5 inches. Like, I don't know how big. That's not 5 inches. That's for sure. That's like from my hairline. My hairline goes back further than you guys probably suspect. But is that 5 inches? That's not 5 inches. There's no way. That's like 3, maybe 2.5. So it'd be like double forehead. So it's like 5 added on. Either way, it's huge. Either way, it's huge. You got big forehead going on. Or 5 inches of foreskin. Here's the thing about the 5 inches of forehead. You're never hiding that. And now you're into like strange alien, you know, those like alien cone head guys. I can't remember which group does it, but they put like the wraps around the kid's head as a baby, and then their heads sort of stretch into that alien shape and they get that alien skull thing. You start to get into that territory, which is undoubtedly completely unfuckable. If you're in like modern society, you have an extra 5 inches of forehead. You are unfuckable. Maybe a blind chick gets down with you, but you're in prostitute territory. You are completely unfuckable. An extra 5 inches of foreskin, I think there's ways you can hide that. I think you can do like, you could kind of pull it all the way down and you could put like a hair tie on it and then it just kind of scrunches at the bottom. Like, you know, when you have jeans, they don't really fit right and you put a belt on and you kind of scrunch it all in one area, or you could like put it at the back. It would be like a third ball. Like you tuck all the skin back and then you pull a hair tie around and then you just have this lump of skin that you're like, hey, just don't pay attention to that part. Just don't pay attention to that part. Also, like, this is a would you rather, so you can't just be like, well, I'll just get it removed. That's not how a would you rather works. But if it was like seriously one of those two things, you can't get 5 inches of forehead removed. You can get 5 inches of foreskin removed. But I think this is a no-brainer. Also, you have 5 inches of foreskin. You could start to do some pretty hilarious stuff online. You could start to like fill that shit up like a water balloon. You could start to see. You could do like stuff on. Like, as you guys know, Piss versus Squirt is now out. You can go check that out on Pornhub. But if you want to do like a funny Pornhub video, you could be like, how many grapes can I fit into my foreskin? And you could just start like shoving grapes in there. That's a funny video. You could do it with like Mentos. You could like do a baking soda vinegar like explode like volcano dick all in the foreskin. Like, there's now like a whole new genre of content you're creating out of having this excess foreskin. And it's an easier thing to hide, and you would get good at hiding it. And then maybe you get a lady who like really likes it. When a chick really likes you, she'll start to indulge in your weirdness and your like gross parts. They'll like your stink, or they like, say most chicks don't like a bald dude. All of a sudden they like your bald head. They like the dimples in your head or something. They start to, so now this chick who's like into you, you've wooed her. And she likes your foreskin. She like kind of stretches it. Like, you know, when people put an elastic band around their fingers and they go like this, wah, wah, wah. They do like the hand thing with she does that with your foreskin. She blows it up when she's blowing you. She pulls it back and goes, shh, and then it blows up a little bit and then like in her face. She goes, ah, ha, ha, ha. And she's now, this is a feature that she loves in you, where I don't think the forehead ever gets there. I don't think the forehead you ever get past the first, like, I don't know, you have like a really long toque on and then you fucking start, what you guys call a beanie in America, but you have a really long toque on and you slowly reveal it up and it's almost like a horror movie. You're seeing the monster the first time. She's like, ah! Where the foreskin is, that's not that big of a deal, I don't think. 5 inches. It is a lot of foreskin. It's like a horse dick worth of foreskin, I would say. What's your stance on armpits? This is the next question. Next write-in. What's your stance on armpits? Producer, how do you feel about armpits?
I'm in the minority of like, I like a nice little hairy armpit.
You like a little hairy. Are we talking like Hey, you like the hair extending out, or do you like just kind of a stubble?
Sort like a little bit beyond stubble.
A little beyond stubble. Okay. Yeah, like almost like combable. Not brushable, but combable.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Are you sniffing? Yeah. Yeah, you're sniffing. Dude, you're a little dirty dog, eh?
Yeah.
You're a little pervy guy. I like it, man. Where you fall in the bedroom? Are you a dominant guy? You a submissive guy? You're a dominant guy. You're getting in there and give me that armpit. Sniffing it out, dude. Yeah, I like that, dude. Are you going to be my producer from now on?
It's going to be like 50-50.
50-50. Okay. Well, I'm going to start calling you Jorge instead of producer. I've been calling you producer because we get different people in the booth. Yeah, so maybe we start calling you Jorge.
It's whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay. I don't know. We'll work it out. But I like that, like, when it comes to the armpit thing, I do like a little bit of hair. But I don't know, like, here's this thing. I like it. I don't know if it would be a thing where, like, if I was dating a chick and she has hairy armpits, if it would send me in either direction. When I see it and I like it, it's pure horny. It's pure, like, this is kind of wrong. This is kind of gross. And that's why I kind of like it, because I like it when the sex gets a little dirtier, a little grosser, a little more wrong, a little stinkier. Like, and that's adding to it. Like a stinky, hairy armpit, I'm like, yeah, there's something kind of gross about that. And it makes me feel a little more perverted, and why makes me more into it. Where I think the moment I jizz, all that goes away. So how do I feel about the hairy armpit not horny? I don't know. I've never jerked off to armpit porn and then looked at it after, and I don't think I've ever jerked off to armpit porn at all, but I would have to do that, do that experiment, jerk off to the armpit porn, see how I feel in the transition after when I see the hairy armpit. Does it gross me out? Am I neutral? Is it so arousing that I immediately get horny again? There's all these different possible outcomes that can happen. So I would say I like armpits. I like their involvement, but they're not a make or break. It's kind of, and they also have to kind of go with the vibe. If I don't think I like when a girl is like super well kept and everything else is like so tidy and everything is like so put together, and then she has the hairy armpits, it's too much of a clash. It's going out of your genre. I want you in this genre, and you're over here in this genre. It has to go with the rest of you. Like if a girl's got hairy armpits, she's got a bush, she's like a little earthy, and then it's like, ooh, she's like this hippie crystal incense chick. I like that. She's got this like natural smell. Like I don't really wear deodorant, and it's like, ooh, yeah, I like that. Like let's fucking a tent or something. I'm about that. Let's go to the sweat lodge. You want to do like a cold plunge, whatever. Wave a crystal around my dick before you suck it. I don't give a shit. But yeah, that I like when you're getting a exact genre of chick. So yeah, I would say that's my stance on armpits. Plus, on the right type of chick, but I don't know how I feel about it when I'm not horny. So there you go. We do have a couple more. I think. How much time? We don't have a lot of time left. So we got time for one more. Oh, I think we only have one more. Oh, we only have one more. Foot jobs from women who not only keep the toes done, but got thick toes are fire. I don't know. I've never had a foot job. I will say feet. I never cared about feet, ever. Feet were always neutral. It wasn't until maybe 2 or 3 years ago that feet started to turn up for me. And what it came from was one specific porno I saw where the girl was like seducing the guy with her feet. And I was like, oh, it's not like the foot itself that turns me on. It's the idea that if you're turned on by feet and a lady uses that as a way to seduce you and like take advantage of you, it's the taking advantage part that I like. It's like, oh, you want me so bad, you're like fucking laying these traps. You have this foot trap that you know I will succumb to, or you're tempting me like the siren, like the fucking siren go into the rocks, go into the toes. That's the part I like. That's the part that I thought was hot of the whole exchange, was leveraging what this thing, this weakness that was in this guy to like, I want you to fuck me, so I'm gonna like sort of hang my little footsies around you. The idea of that happening, I think, is hot. That's what I like. But yeah, like I said, the foot itself, doesn't really do much for me. So I've never had the foot job. I've licked a foot. I've sucked on toes. I've done all that stuff. But I don't think that's that crazy. I think that's like if you're, that's just almost like finishing the job. Like sometimes you're like banging a chick and she's got like her legs up on your shoulders, and like I just would like lick your foot, or I'll just suck your toe when it's up there. Or you're like working your way down and you're like, or you're working your way up from like eating her pussy and you're like going up the thigh and you're like, I'm just gonna suck her foot. Whatever, dude. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna mix it into the bunch. But yeah, so what you're saying is they gotta have they keep their toes done, but they also have to have thick toes. I guess because it's like more surface area. I've seen some foot job videos where they're like very monkey feet with it, and they sort of grab it and your foot's all glossed up. I don't think that would ever really do it for me because I'm very much a giver. I'm like, I want to be doing it for you at the same time you're doing it for me. But maybe it's the same thing. It's this if I get in that seduction brain. But I would never want a nut from a foot job because then it's like, well, then I didn't do anything for you. Unless I've already, like, done you, I've eaten you out, you came, we fucked, and then you're finishing me with the feet. Maybe that could really work. But I wouldn't want to, like, because I feel like a foot job is like foreplay. A foot job's like a hand job. It's like you do it before you fuck, I would think. Unless your feet are really dirty, and then you don't want that stuff going in the pussy, right? So, yeah, I think you would, I guess what I'm saying is I don't know if what you're telling is the truth, but maybe I will investigate this. Maybe if I start hooking up with a chick, she's got really nice, well-kept feet, and she's got thick toes, which I really knew, which I don't know if I have an idea in my head of what thick toes are. I'll start to compare the feet of the different chicks I'm hooking up with. What are thick toes? And then I'll be like, I got to try this one out. This one was recommended to me from a trusted source. Jerk me off with those thick toes, Miss Piggy. Is in Little Piggies. That's the pod, guys. Thank you so much. This is the Patreon app. You guys are supporting. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Every day we get closer to our Patreon goal. Every fucking day, dude. Few more people join. Gets me pumped up. Every time I see that thing pop up, I get a little notification. I go, let's go. And I've been messaging. If you guys are getting messages and you think they're automated messages, they're not. I'm messaging you guys all individually. I'm doing that. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.